It's a roast off of the rear of the deer, the ham, and there's basically 3 roasts in this piece of meat and some scrap. Well, the scrap is right here. There's a gland and some fat, and you don't want any fat in your deer meat. This is called the football. This is the one that you want right here. And if you roll it up this way and start just cutting easily, you'll find that there's a seam between the roast. Okay? It's just the separation of the muscle group. And basically that'll be your 2 roasts that you'll want to keep. Taking, this will be burger, the fat's waste. You can trim, this has got an outside piece on it. Trim it off, make it into burger. Take the fat off of it again. Get the hair off of it. And it really doesn't look that nice right now, but that's a real nice roast off of a young deer. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is the other half of that one. Another gland, which is in between the 2 muscle groups. There's actually 2 glands in the leg. And a little morsel there that we can throw into the hamburger. This is a little piece that I'm working on now. It's called eye of the round. And some people even take that out of there. It's just a muscle. Some people will take this out and call it a poor man's tenderloin, but I always leave it in because it makes a darn good roast. Sharp knives are one of the best things. Keeps you from working too hard. On this one, you'll notice that there's some silver skin. Take your knife and just sort of peel that off of that roast. Then do it like you do a fish fillet. And take that silver skin right away. Hamburger. And get rid of the silver skin. Turn it over. Fat. On a larger deer, this would be a nice big roast, but and this is what you have. These are really good eating deer, about 1.5 years. That's another roast. You can actually clean it up a little bit by squaring it. Okay, that's your 2 roasts out of the 1 hind quarter. Yeah, hand me that stool over there. The other one's called a football, and I'll dig it out of here for you. Now I'll show you why we call it a football. If you have a hard time processing big chunks of meat by taking the fat out and the silver skin off and stuff. Cut it in littler pieces. It's more manageable. That's why right here's why we call it a football. Because it's shaped like a football. But the only trouble is, it looks like a really nice piece of meat, but there's a whole bunch of tendons inside it. And I'll show you. If you look, you see here, there's tendons there, tendons there, tendons here. And they weave back and forth through this. It makes a really tough roast unless you're going to put it in a crock pot for 5 or 6 hours with some vegetables and stuff to utilize it, make it tender, cook the tendons down so that they're not tough, and it's got silver skin on it. Basically, we make it into hamburger because we use the burger in chili and spaghetti sauce and all kinds of soups and everything else, so we just take it into hamburger. And this is the other waste off of it, off your hind quarter, or basically, you could call it a ham, but then we just take and trim it up, trim the fat and silver skin off of it, and put it in the hamburger. I tell you, if you take the fat off, bone out, and the silver skin, you don't hardly have very, very little wild taste to it, to deer. Yeah, I know. Our dogs like the deer meat too. That's it.
Cool. I'll have you do a second one, just kind of get a different angle on it.
Okay. Well,
You can stand up. Do it.
Yeah.
trim this up first. I think you're doing this just to get me to do it.
No, we wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't he love on you, puppy, huh? Doesn't he love you no more?
Toro.
Hello.
Hey.
Roger, that ham that you froze, where did you put it?
Frozen ham?
In packages?
Oh, it's out here.
Okay, thank you.
Right, left-handed one.
Okay.
Now, usually in a meat packing place, all that stuff is ground right into your hamburger. So you seems like you have more than what you really do. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure changes the flavor. Okay?
And they still charge you an arm and leg for
And
it.
still charge an arm and leg. Okay, here we go again. This is the way it looks on the deer. Okay, and there's another video on the way we take them off, bone them out hanging. So here we go again. This is the football, and this is the other two roasts, all in one big glob. Put it on its back, and you can find where the two muscle groups, you can see them just lay open there. two muscle groups. This is a gland in the middle of the leg. I couldn't tell you what gland it is. Again, we're got this silver skin down on the one side of the one roast, and I just sort of cut it off and fillet it like a fish. To take the silver skin off and put that in the hamburger. Flip it up. Now we got to take the fat off the top of it. Wild animals carry their fat on the outside of the muscle, not like the domestic animals that we have, which carry it in the muscle. So when you take the fat off, the meat is a little drier when you cook it, but yet you get rid of all the wild gamey flavor by getting rid of the fat. Nice little roast. What's that?
Just needs cleaned up.
Little piece of gristle. Trim it up a little nicely. Nice little roast.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the top of the round, but we're going to trim it up and put it in the hamburger. Did your friends want any more scrap?
I think they're good right now.
Should be. Did you send the buckets back?
I just took them in, put them in the freezer, so whatever I took them in on, I got back. I think I had them in a crate.
Mm.
But we didn't put them in buckets, we packaged them, remember?
Mm. have made cube steaks out of these too.
And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it.